Hey everyone, this is Michael Coker. I'm the mayor of the city of Mulberry, and I have a special treat today. I have Mr. Terry Swaim, who is the chairman of the Mulberry Planning Commission. And so, if you have no idea what a planning commission is, what it does, their purpose, this is the episode you want to listen to, and he's going to explain it all to you. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's jump in. First off, Mr. Swaim, thank you for being here, and I appreciate your time. And so if you don't mind, if you could start by maybe telling everybody who you are, kind of what you do for a living, and talk a little bit about how you came to be in Mulberry.
Right. Thank you so much for inviting me, Michael. I was born and raised, like you, in Gwinnett County, grew up in Duluth, and moved to Mulberry around 2005. And have just joined the community, church, schools, and have really enjoyed living out there. Since then, I've got three girls. I run a wealth management and financial advisory firm, but I have three girls and my wife. We're all embedded in the community. We love to serve, and just have enjoyed living in the city of Mulberry and watching it grow. And once I heard about the city coming potentially to fruition, I knew I wanted to be a part of it and be an advocate for it. We have been a part of a couple of rezonings, both working for the community and trying to make sure that the development that is coming out there is appropriate and how it was going to affect our community, because we want what's best for the community, all of its citizens, and especially, everybody that already lives there. And we want to welcome new neighbors as well, and just maintain the quality of life and try to welcome our new neighbors to the community.
Yeah, and I will tell you this, is obviously when the city was founded, people kept telling me there's one person you got to know. His name's Terry Swaim. He's very well respected. He's a community leader. And so obviously I met you, kind of got to know you very well. And then when you offered to serve in a capacity of the city, I was super excited, because to have a person of your stature, your leadership as part of the team obviously meant a lot to me. And so first off, thank you for what you do for the city. But let's kind of transition and talk a little bit about that. So obviously I mentioned at the outset that you are the chairperson of the Planning Commission. So first off, if you could explain for people who maybe have no idea, what is a Planning Commission?
The Planning Commission is a body of 5 people, one representing each district. And really our main goal is to work alongside the city council, the staff, the community, to understand what they want and to work alongside with the applicants. But really what we will hear is rezonings and things of those nature. So we want to listen, have an open mind, and look at the practical application. We also work alongside and listen to the staff. We listen to the community. We listen to the applicant. And we want to do a lot of the heavy lifting for the city council. Is that we are a recommending body. So we make recommendations based upon our conversations at the meetings. And we hold a meeting to hear what the community is wanting, what they have to say, if they have any problems, if they're for something. And also at that meeting, we'll listen to the applicant, why they're doing what they're doing, what they hope to accomplish, and how it will be a benefit, hopefully, to the community. And we'll take all that information and we will try to make the best decision possible and make a recommendation in conjunction with the staff, the community, and the applicant, and just talking things through. What does this want to look like? Is it in the spirit of what Mulberry is? Is it in the right area? Is it the right rezoning specifically that matches the UDO underneath it? So that we can build Mulberry and continue to make Mulberry a place that people want to live in.
So let's talk a little bit about that. You said a couple things I want to clarify in there. So you mentioned that one of the things that you like to reference is the UDO. For somebody who doesn't know what that is, what is a UDO?
Right. The UDO is a Unified Development Ordinance. And we have, as a city, it has zoning classifications of what you can do within certain areas. And that's really what zoning is it tells you what you can do. And on top of that, the city has gone through extensive talks and studies and whatnot in putting together different areas like the equestrian area that we want to, executive housing. And then it boils down to that gives us a baseline of what we can make general recommendations to the city council for what we feel is appropriate and going to be a benefit to the community, the landowner, and the folks all around.
Okay. And so let's say there's a developer who wants to rezone a property. Okay. Let's say it's on one end of the city and they file an application with the city. Obviously, you talked about first that goes to the staff, right? And the staff
Yes.
does some analysis and gives some recommendations. And then that staff gives the report to you guys
Yes.
to review, correct?
Correct.
When you review in that staff report and you're trying to make decisions as to whether or not you should recommend that this get approved or denied, what kind of things are you looking for? What kind of things are typical inside that staff report?
Well, we will thoroughly look at the staff report and go really line by line as to what the applicant is wanting to do. And a lot of these sorts of things can be complicated and they're not black and white. So we will take a look at it and try to make a good practical recommendation based upon what the Unified Development Ordinance is advising us to do, what the staff is advising us, when we listen to the community as well. So that's a big part of it, is we want the community to let us know their thoughts pro or for or against a rezoning. We want to listen and talk to the applicant. We want their side. We want to hear all sides so that we can talk amongst ourselves, look at the legal and the practical ramifications of what it's going to mean both now and in the future for the community, and is it going to be a benefit to the community?
So you talked a lot about how the community aspect is important to you, listening to community feedback. So if I'm a resident of Mulberry and I see that yellow rezoning application sign get put out on the property and I have some concerns or maybe even some questions, given your stature and what you've done and what you know about the process, what do you recommend that I do that would have the best effect so that I can get my voice heard?
Best thing that I would suggest, first of all, would be to reach out to the Planning Commission via email.
Okay.
If you'd like to talk through it over the phone or meet, we are available generally to be able to do that within, we all got day jobs for the most part, but we want to hear from you. So we want to, rather than go directly to the city council, talk to us, reach out to staff, reach out to the Planning Commission. Our emails is on the city website. You can send us an email. If you're an applicant and you want to, I know you're going to be in contact with the staff as well, but help us to understand, rather than just what is on paper, what is going on. We want to hear everything so that we can make a decision at the meeting after hearing all the parties at that point. And we want to be very open-minded and practical and keep in mind, the spirit of why Mulberry was founded in the first place, and what Mulberry wants to look like in conjunction with what the city council will be, so that we can make a good recommendation to y'all.
Yeah, and I appreciate you doing that. Obviously, I will add that, each of us, you said, have a person on the commission, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we've each city council member has appointed somebody to basically be their eyes and ears on the field, right?
Yes.
So they're the ones talking to constituents, seeing what the public wants, making recommendations. And so I second that. I think a great place to start is to talk to your local commission member in the district. And if you don't know who it is, go on the website. I'm sure that it's listed there. All their emails are there and you can find out that information. Okay, so now we get to the actual hearing itself.
Yes.
For those that have maybe are very intimidated, okay, I'm going to go to the hearing, I'm going to speak up, and I'm going to talk about how I'm in favor or opposed to this development. Can you give just a quick overview of what those meetings are, the process that it goes through, so that maybe they can feel more comfortable attending those meetings and speaking?
Yes, absolutely. If you and or some neighbors are concerned about certain things, and come to the Planning Commission meeting, that is the public hearing First of all, we're going to hear the staff recommendation and their rationale behind it. Then we're going to hear from the applicant. And then we want to open it up to the community and the citizens. What I would suggest is if there's a group of folks, come together as a group, but have a speaker and have your thoughts laid out clearly. We want to keep it respectful to the applicant, to the community, to one another. We're all in this community together. So we want to be very respectful for one another. But come prepared. You can come up to the microphone. There's 10 minutes to hear from the community. If you know there's multiple people that want to talk about it, be respectful of their time. Don't necessarily have to take up the whole 10 minutes, because at that point, we do have to move on with business and talk amongst ourselves and come up with a recommendation ultimately for the city council.
So basically the best thing to do, you said, come with a group to recap, maybe select one or two of your best speakers to get up and kind of represent that group with some talking points, and then address the commission with any concerns or that you may have. Okay. And then let's talk a little bit about, so once you've heard from the staff has told you whether or not they recommend you approve it, you've heard from the applicant as to why they feel like this particular development would or would not fit with the plan of Mulberry. And then you've heard from the public. I understand that you then have basically three options. You can either approve that, you can deny that application, or you can approve it with conditions. Can you talk about what those three things are, what they mean, and kind of what effect that has moving forward with the application?
Yes. Once we have gotten all the information from all the parties, and it's what the applicant is finally asking for, we will take those and we'll either approve it as it stands, submitted, we'll deny it as it's submitted, or we can approve it with conditions. Approving with conditions is maybe we will recommend approval, but we will set some conditions. It's not necessarily black and white in a lot of senses, but we'll work and we'll try to figure out what is best. And that's a tough thing to do a lot of the times, but we will listen to all parties and try to do what we feel is best, for making a recommendation what is best for the city.
And that's what I was going to say. So of those three things, you said you're a recommendation body. So once you say, okay, we recommend this is approved, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's approved, right? That just means you're telling the city council, who will be the final decision maker, whether or not your recommendation is approval or denial. Like I said, I kind of look at it as a lawyer, as like evidence gathering, right? You gathered all the evidence, you looked at it, you gave us your opinion on the evidence, and then ultimately the city council would be the one that makes that decision. Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay. And then so basically, as we kind of move here to the end of the episode, is there anything else that you feel like people should know about Planning Commission, about kind of the roles and responsibilities? I mean, what about, case in point, like I know there's some people you hear from that, don't want anything to be built anywhere, right? They think traffic's too bad and whatever, which I don't disagree. Traffic is really bad in Mulberry. But can you talk a little bit about maybe that desire to juggle the property rights of the owner and constitutional protections maybe they have versus maybe the concerns that the community has as a whole?
Yes, we live in the community as well. You live in the community as well. We want nothing but the best for our community in the short run and in the long run. Change is the only constant. And we want to grow and make Mulberry a place where people want to come raise their families, work, live, play, all those things. So we want to hear from constituents with the understanding that it is, things are going to change, but you have positive change, you have positive growth. We want to recommend approval of things in the city that are going to be beneficial to the community. So there are, like you said, we've got to juggle the community, the landowners, the applicants, and all that to keep in mind with what is best for the community, for the applicant, and for the city as a whole, as we all want to move forward together.
Sure. No, I get that. And I know it's a very difficult job. And I know that you you don't get paid anything to do this. So this is 100% a service to Mulberry. So I know all of Mulberry is very thankful for you, as well as all the planning commission members, for all that you guys do. Because I know it is extremely time consuming. It's extremely document intensive, right? You're always going through big agenda packets and rolling out maps and plats and this or that. So we appreciate everything that you do.
You're welcome.
Last, I guess, thing before we wrap up here, if someone wants to get in touch with you, specifically, whether that's to ask you about an upcoming application or rezoning, or maybe even they just want to get to know you as a leader in the city, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
They can email me. They can call me, on the phone. Just reach out to me. I can be found. I'm not hard to find on LinkedIn or on the city page. I'm happy to meet. I'm happy to talk on the phone with people. I'm happy to get to know people in the community. That's the blessing of just serving, is getting to know more people in the community. And I appreciate your kind words and everything that you said. I'm not sure that they're deserving, but I appreciate what you've done, what the city has done in working to build the city, and to just let us be a part of it, because I think we're all working together for the benefit of our neighbors and our community as a whole. And it's not perfect, but it will be beneficial in the long term. And I'm just excited to be a tiny, small part of it.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, it's definitely been, this first year of Mulberry's been a wild roller coaster ride, but it's been a fun one. And so, on behalf of myself, my other council members, obviously, thank you to your other commission members. But Chairman Swaim, we appreciate you being here, and we appreciate you educating us on what a planning commission does, and we look forward to many more years in the future in the city of Mulberry.
Definitely.
All right. Everybody out there, thank you for listening on whatever platform you like to get the information of this podcast. If you like getting these updates, like and subscribe, and we'll continue putting them out there and educating you both on local government here in Mulberry, but also on some really interesting things going on in our city. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.